Where are we now in the unrest pro-democracy risings in the Special Administrative Region of the People's Republic of China? These protests began back in June. I can remember being in Singapore when all this started. Well, this week has seen rail stations and businesses attacked. There have now been documented instances of police using live round ammunition on protesters. Only yesterday, a demonstrator was shot in the leg, reports saying it was a 14-year-old boy. Earlier in the week, an 18-year-old was shot. That extradition bill, which sparked all this, that's been removed, but that in and of itself didn't take the wind out of the protesters, demonstrators, activist sails, did it? This has gone too far now. It's about way more than a single issue. It's about broader concerns and issues: freedom, democracy, identity, anxiety about the future of the territory. For the first time in over 5 decades, I understand, emergency law has been invoked. Carrie Lam, Chief Executive, still in office, a hate figure for the protesters. In a recorded statement, she said, "The radical behaviour of the rioters took Hong Kong through a very dark night, leaving society today half paralysed. The extreme violence clearly illustrated that Hong Kong's public safety is widely endangered. That's the concrete reason that we had to invoke emergency law yesterday to introduce the anti-mask law." Unquote. So protesters wear these masks to remain anonymous and or protect themselves from the tear gas being fired at them by the police. The protesters are cast by the authorities, as you can tell from Carrie Lam's language in just that one example, as dangerous, radicals, violent. They're causing our orderly society to descend into chaos. That's the narrative from the powers that be. Carrie Lam is simply a mouthpiece, party mouthpiece, toeing the line, reading from the approved script. Yeah. What they fear, the authorities, is not a few train stations, walkways and businesses getting physically damaged. Broken glass can be cleaned away, walls can be repaired. They're not even particularly concerned, I imagine, about media outside of Hong Kong talking about the police brutality, the abuse of power by the cops. There is a counter-narrative to that after all. No, what really scares the shit out of talking heads in Hong Kong and party bosses in Beijing is the irrepressible desire to live in a free and democratic society. That, and a burgeoning sense of identity coming from the young people there, which is separate from the mainland. People who see themselves as Hong Kongers rather than Chinese. And so the conflict will continue.